So this originally was a bit of like a shrine, a memorial for my mother's dog, Rosie. It was my dog as well, but everyone who's had multiple dogs in their lives will eventually have that one that just touches their soul. You love them all, but there's always that one that just touches your soul in a way that none other has. And for my mother, that was Rosie. So we got this, like, her death hit my mother hard, like really hard, harder than her other dogs in the past. You're not really supposed to have favorites. You're not really supposed to love one more than the other, but you do. And there's a plethora of reasons as to why that happens, and I don't even think people understand it themselves. Well, I have fake plants in this because I want it to be bright all year round, and because, well, my taste in plants is not my mother's taste. My mother's taste in plants were like big, beautiful, bright, colorful flowers. Me, I like ones that are easy to take care of, and the colors that I typically go for tend to be various shades of green and purple, maybe white. So there's not a lot of color in this garden. My mother actually wouldn't have liked what I've done with it, but it's my garden now, so, you know, I do it how I wanted to. In fact, one of the ways that I dealt with her passing was doing gardening. We had pretty much done up every room in the house, and my mother had plans on doing the garden. So I kind of took it upon myself to remove everything, rehome some of the plants, and start from scratch and do it how I wanted to do it. It was kind of therapy for me. I've never really been into gardening in my life, and I've kind of fallen off it a little bit now. But it was therapy for me at the time after she passed. But these are looking a little bit worse for the wear now. They've been here for like 3 years, so I've bought more. So I'm going to be cleaning this out, replacing it with these, and yeah, hopefully it'll look nice for, you know, another few more years. And you can see, like, this thing here, this was actually a gift from a relative. She was saving it for something special, but I thought putting it out here would make sense. So for now, at this point, for me, this has become a duo shrine for both Rosie, as was initially intended, and honestly my mother, because the two of them kind of come hand in hand. And every now and again, when I do sit out here, I will see this and think about it. I don't really... One of the things my family always said was how well I handled my mother's passing, and that's just because I deal with grief in a different way to a lot of people. I'm task orientated, so when she went, I went through like every room of the house except her bedroom, and I went through everything. I threw out a lot, I organized everything, and yeah, I can't explain why, but I got into this big tidying up thing, because I couldn't just sit and enjoy video games. I couldn't just sit and do something. My usual methods of dealing and relaxing just didn't work anymore, so I became task orientated. My sense of how I dress myself changed for a little bit as well. It's gone back to normal now, but it's still a bit changed to how it used to be. It was weird how it affected me, but because I didn't cry constantly, or because, you know, and all this kind of thing, a lot of people, I think, didn't recognize my form of grieving. But I've found out through this that I'm someone who focuses on tasks and organizes and is a bit of a ritual person. I am a big person up for rituals and symbols, and if you know me and you know how I operate, you can look around my house and find all sorts of items that are kind of memories for other people. I've got an old toy of a turtle upstairs that my grandmother bought me when I was a kid. That's my little memorial for her. I've got a pen holder made out of a shell that belonged to my grandfather. That's my little thing for him. And I'm not the most spiritual person in the world, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't at all. And I do kind of subscribe to the theory that items contain a bit of a spirit. So if something belongs to someone and they pass, they leave a little bit of themselves within that item. You know, if you lose an item that has been with you for many years and you use it on a regular basis, so like when I lost my wallet that I'd had since college a few years ago, losing the wallet hurt me more than losing the money that was in there, because that wallet meant more to me than the monetary value that was in it, because it had been with me for a long time and it was unique. You can't just go out and buy like hemp wallets like that with a little bit of tactile wood or whatever the hell it was in the side. You just can't go out and buy them. It was unique and it was mine, and you know, so losing it feels like losing a little bit of yourself. But I'm like this, and apparently humanizing items is a very autistic thing to do. But anyway, let's sort this out, make it look nice, and I'll show what it looks like afterwards. I'll probably look for another light thing to put in it as well, because my mother loved lights. She would spend so much money on these fucking solar lights that would break within a month. She'd spend so much money on them. So I'll probably find 1 or 2 of them to shove in there as well afterwards. But first I want to make sure it looks good. So you can tell it's spooky season, can't you? Those big buggers are everywhere this time of year. Thankfully, because of gardening, whilst I am still arachnophobic, I'm not as bad as I used to be. I would freak out at that at one point, but I'm not as bad anymore, because I've needed to develop a resilience to seeing them, because, well, gardening. I will, however, be getting rid of these buggers, because these will ruin your garden. There we go. That doesn't look half bad. I don't have the elevation in it anymore, because I don't have these. These were part of a, I forget what you'd call it, but like a wreath or whatever it was from my mother's funeral. Yeah, again, I'm a symbolic person. I like symbolism. I like things like that. So these aren't too bad, actually. So I'm thinking of repurposing these just to give it a little bit of a backing, because these haven't really faded. So I'm gonna be reusing these, I think. The rest of it can go out though. Here we are. That gives it just a little bit more depth. It looks alright now. So pretty much what I'll do is I'll keep my eye out for some nice lights, and there should be enough room to put one down here. Maybe one at the back there as well, just so you can see it at night. It should look quite nice. So yeah, there we go. A lot better. I could clean it, but I do like the kind of moss growing and taking over. I just think that looks nicer, but that's me. But yeah, that'll look a lot better.